So today we're going to be going over 7 fragrances that really truly do deserve your attention. In the world of fragrance and cologne and perfume, there are a lot of trends, and there are a lot of fragrances that will pop up and get hyped to death, and everyone will be going crazy over it, and that's really all you'll hear about for a few weeks or even a few months or a few years. And I'm not saying that hyped fragrances don't deserve their recognition, but I do think that there are some fragrances that maybe aren't hyped up as much that do deserve your attention. They're kind of getting lost in the shuffle here because of everything else that's going on. In my opinion, each of these 7 fragrances are special in their own way, and we're going to be going over that. 7 fragrances that are worthy of your attention. Let's get it. First up, Polo Supreme Leather. Just did my first impressions on this one in an unboxing video, or at least that video just went live. That video was actually filmed in advance before I put it out. And so since then, I've had even more time to test this one, and I love this stuff. I said in that video that it's one that I've been wanting to try for a while. This has been in and out of my shopping cart and swapped around and all sorts of stuff, and I just never really got around to it up until recently. We've got leather, tonka bean, and honey in here. It's sweet, it's masculine, it's a little bit spicy, it's very leathery. It's really everything you would expect from a fragrance of this name. A fragrance that has a bottle like this, and a fragrance from Polo. Obviously, they're a luxury designer brand. They have a lot of expensive clothing, jewelry, watches, all that stuff. And when they have a fragrance line out and you start looking at that fragrance line, you automatically expect something that's going to be of high quality and that's going to smell high end. This is not a couple $100s or a couple $1,000s like some of their clothing pieces are, but it is still up on the higher end of the price point here, and I do think it is worth it. You know, it does have that Ralph Lauren quality, chic appeal about it, making it smell expensive without being too ungodly expensive. If you want a little bit of a different twist on leather for this fall and winter time, check out Supreme Leather. I wish I would have gotten this one sooner. Next up, Rasasi LaYuqawam. So this by no means is a hidden gem, and I'm not saying that this one hasn't been hyped up or talked about, because it has been. I mean, it is a fragrance from a brand which does do clones very well. This is also a clone, and so it definitely made its rounds. But still, when I look back and just see what's being featured today, this one's not popping up as much as you would maybe expect. If somehow you're not aware of this, this is a clone of Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. Now, I love that fragrance. To be honest, I love a lot of Tom Ford private blends. Actually, all the ones that I own are ones that I really have a personal connection with. I mean, the brand just does some top-notch stuff. The one problem with them is they are expensive, and most of them come in a 50 ml bottle, so you're not getting a whole lot, but you're kind of paying a lot. So basically, the price per milliliter of this brand is a lot more expensive than some other full-on niche brands. For a lot of people, that just isn't justifiable. For a lot of people, they don't even want to be able to justify it. You know, some people cringe when they look at the prices of the Tom Fords, and a lot of people hate them because of that. But Tuscan Leather really is one of those fragrances that are just revolutionary. It's really done something different. It's incredibly successful. And if you want an alternative for about $50-ish, this right here is by far one of the best, hands down. I mean, it's shockingly close, like almost to a T, seriously. Smells incredible. It's earthy, it's masculine, it's strong, it's spicy, it's incredibly leathery. Not for the faint of heart, but if you want a bit of a challenge, check this one out. And this by far is the best clone out there, and it's worth every penny. Make sure you get on this one. Even if you already have Tuscan Leather, if you don't want to burn through it and have to pay the money to buy another one, you could go for this, and it's going to get you by on those days where you don't want to wear Tuscan Leather. You can save your actual bottle for special occasions, that sort of thing. That's probably what I'm going to do here with this one. Next up, we have L'Homme L'Intense by Yves Saint Laurent. So this is one of the many flankers that are in the L'Homme line, and on top of that, you have the whole La Nuit de L'Homme line of flankers as well. So there are a lot of different fragrances that share a similar bottle here. Ambergris, Orange Blossom, Woods are some of the key players in here. I love how it comes across. Smells fantastic. And out of all of them, at least compared to something like L'Homme Ultime, L'Homme Les Parfums, La Nuit de L'Homme L'Intense, or La Nuit de L'Homme Eau de Parfum, or whatever all the different ones are that get talked about more, this one has always kind of fallen behind. Now, this is a bit more of a powdery and sweet fragrance, but it's done very tastefully. To me, it doesn't come across feminine. To some, it may. I will say that it goes more in a unisex direction than some of the other fragrances out there, but it doesn't smell like something that a woman would necessarily wear. If you are a woman and you want to wear it, go for it, but this still to me is a men's fragrance. But it is one that can be pulled off in evenings. It can be pulled off if you just want to smell different. La Nuit de l'Homme these days doesn't really smell different because a lot of people wear it. Not a lot of people wear this one, so something to keep in mind. It's a really good flanker that just doesn't really see the light of day all that much. Next up, we have Mercedes-Benz Select Night. So we've got vanilla, sandalwood, and lavender, and I can't explain to you how good this is. Just smelling it off the cap here, the vanilla sandalwood mixture, and I believe there's amber in here as well, smells absolutely incredible. And off the atomizer, you know what this smells like to me right now, and this is crazy, but it really does come across that way, is MFK Grand Soir. So there's Grand Soir, it's vanilla, ambery, sweet, warm, and Mercedes-Benz Select Night, like it's seriously close. Obviously, we're not talking about quality, that sort of thing. It's a whole different story, and even performance and stuff, this one's not going to touch the MFK. But in the dry down there, it's this vanilla, ambery sweetness where they kind of do smell a little bit similar, and that's something that I didn't pick up on right away. I've said it before, but Mercedes-Benz creates some amazing fragrances, and really just car company brands in general put out some impressively good stuff. Take a look at Bentley, for example. They've done amazing. This one here and Mercedes-Benz Club Black are probably two of the best fragrances from the brand in my very personal opinion. It's kind of funny because their darker themed fragrances seem to be the best ones. We've got Select Night, Club Black. I think they're onto something here. That tells me that they should stick with doing fragrances like this and like Club Black. Warmer, heavier, sweeter scents, and leave all the citrus boring stuff for the other brands. They know what they're doing here, and Select Night is incredible. If you haven't tried this yet, please go out and do so. It's absolutely incredible, and it's also affordable. Next up, we have Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Exotic Leather. If it's not worth buying for that name alone, then I don't know what is. Also, the bottle is pretty cool too. Very refined, very classy. It's got rum, incense, leather, olibanum. It's sweet, it's resinous, it's smoky, it's woody. It smells absolutely divine. This right here is one of my favorites. Now, one way you can describe this is it smells a little bit like Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum / Eau de Toilette, and it also has a little bit of a La Nuit de l'Homme spicy kick up top, but still it kind of does its own thing. It's not like a clone of either of those or both of them combined. But to me, it does take nuances from each and then does its own thing. That's just kind of the simplest way I can describe it without you actually going out and smelling it yourself. But really, it is fantastic. Maybe you weren't expecting to fall in love with the fragrance from this line of Dolce & Gabbana. I know I wasn't, but this stuff here has won me over. I absolutely love it, and it doesn't really get talked about all that much. This is definitely worth your attention, worth a pickup if you want something that's going to be warm, inviting, and alluring for the cooler weather. Last up for this video, Tommy Hilfiger Impact, the original. Now, Impact Intense could have been in this video, and I almost put it in, but I feel like between the two, Impact Intense has been getting talked about more lately, and so I'm going to give some attention to the original, which is now getting slept on. And it's actually always been kind of slept on as well. This one didn't really pop off and get a whole bunch of hype, but in my opinion, it is really good. Woods, citrus, and musk are in this one, so it's a very standard note breakdown. It doesn't tell you a whole lot, but it doesn't really need to. It's a scent that's very wearable. It's one that's very appealing to a lot of people. And the atomizer, the presentation, everything is great. Of course, you guys know it as having the built-in travel atomizer up here in the cap. As you can see, that's how that works. So that's pretty cool, gimmicky, but cool. I don't know if I would ever use that, but it is cool. But this smells great. Now, going into this, I will admit, I did not expect a whole lot. I really didn't. And that's because it's Tommy Hilfiger. They don't normally release fragrances that just blow my mind. This one, while it didn't quite blow my mind to that extreme, it did shock me in a good way. And Tommy Hilfiger Impact Intense also did as well. Both are fantastic, but between the two, this one's getting overshadowed a little bit, and I want to pump this guy up a little bit. No, I'm not trying to hype this one up or hype up any of these fragrances. I'm just trying to bring them to your attention and let you know that these are worth potentially testing out. All right, you guys, there you have it. That is 7 fragrances that are worth your attention. You know, for me, these are better than what other people may lead you on to believe. Or it's not even that other people are shaming these or hating on them. It's just that they're just not getting talked about at all. And if you see a fragrance that hasn't been hyped up to the moon, you may be conditioned to think that it's not that good. And unfortunately, that's just kind of how the community is. And that's not me dissing the fragrance community. I don't mean anything bad by it. I'm the same way. If I look at a fragrance and I see that it hasn't been hyped up and that it hasn't been talked about all over, immediately I'm like, okay, it may not be that good. But these here are the definition that it doesn't have to be that way. I will provide links to all of these down below if you want to check these out or pick these up. If you want to become a channel member, hit the join button down below. There's 3 different tiers. You can get different perks: vlogs, private group chat, early access, that sort of thing. I really do appreciate the support to help keep this channel running strong. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.